Well, hello everyone, and welcome to chapter 83 of The Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind. As you might have guessed from the voice, the COVID still hasn't fully left my body. Hopefully, this one will be less cough prone. I am not coughing as much as I used to, and I did finally close the window so there won't be enough as much street noise as the last episode. Um, I do have a couple of sprays now for the cough, so we're taking it under control. With that said, I might still cough, and like right now, but it's not as violent as before. So yeah, there is that. This chapter is named "I Hate Jordan Peterson." I'll get to why in a bit and why I'm even talking about it. Um, my drink today is still tea. We are still doing hot drinks because, again, I need to keep my throat warm if I'm going to talk for 20 minutes. Nice. So, why name this one I Hate Jordan Peterson? To be honest, a couple of things happened throughout this week. I started editing my new video. I opened my laptop, so there's that. Um, and it's much better than the old one. Of course, it is. Who would have guessed? And my journal, which I've been writing for on and off in for a year. I started on August 3rd, 2021. Uh, just celebrated its 1 year. I wrote the last entry. I finished the notebook, like the notebook that I was using. It's done. There is only one page left, and I'm gonna tear it out because it's the last page of the notebook, so it has a lot of scratches and like quick writing on it. It's not officially part of the notebook. Uh, I'm sorry. I don't know why. By the way, I'm recording this at like 8 p.m. on Friday, so it's very much late in the day. No more odd recording hours, and let's see how good I'll do. Um, but I was going to talk about that first, and just reading through the journal, maybe talking about some of the emotions that I felt. I might still do that at some point, probably at the end of the year when I do my end of the 2022 thing. I might check this journal as a part of it. But something else happened. I've been talking for 3 minutes, and now I'm getting to why am I going to talk about Jordan Peterson. Um, I am a fan of Some More News YouTube channel, and this week they did. Oh my god! Why didn't I silence my phone? Um, and this week they released a brief video on Jordan Peterson and talking about him, his beliefs, his many wrong beliefs, his tactics, I guess, at life, and just generally the kind of person that he is and the kind of things that he represents. There will be a link to it in the description, of course, whenever I do. Sorry about that. Whenever I do mention videos and channels and stuff like that, like I've done before, like I talked about Thought Slime and Gary Vee before. Um, I do usually put a link in the description. There's a link to that video in the description, and so um, just in general, Peterson has been very more workful nowadays. I'm sorry about the throat noises. Um, because he's been restricted on Twitter because term of service stuff. But okay, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm actually not going to talk about Peterson a lot because that video actually says everything I think you need to tell about Jordan Peterson. I want to talk about why I hate what Jordan Peterson represents and what it does to people. Because, like, literally yesterday, um, a friend of mine got into an altercation with another former friend of mine, and that former friend was a big Peterson fan. Like when Peterson originally rose to power, which was against that Canadian bill, which didn't do what he said it did. He wanted to just be a fucking asshole. Um, that ex friend was very much into it, and just in general, he's a big Jordan Peterson fan. He still is, I know, sadly. And so that's it got into an altercation with him, and so I just wanted to talk about what this person has and just the importance of taking a side because for the most part, and this is me again talking about my history, which I don't think I do as much. Like I talk about present a lot, but history. I used to be fairly apolitical. Actually, going back to the first chapter, first season of this show, I need to look up the exact chapter. I needed to write it down. Why didn't I do that? Because I'm not good at my job. Job is this. Back in the first chapter. Oh no, it was the second season, chapter 18. Politics. I talk about politics and I talk about how much I don't like them. I don't like talking about them. I don't like discussing them. And that is the belief that I held for the longest time. At that time, it was very high because I don't really, and I don't actually still enjoy the political discourse in Iran. Mostly because my tolerance for bullshit is very low. And as much as I want to, be I'm gonna be open-minded when I talk to people about all of this stuff. The political discourse in Iran is not the most healthy. No worries, honestly. So I don't like politics. I still don't like them. But at the time, I was very much into apolitical in the sense that, and don't talk about politics. It's okay, and you can be friends with anyone. I think I've changed that position quite a lot, mostly because I, much like a lot of people, realize that well, honestly, you can't easily be okay with everything that everyone says. I can't do that anymore. I can't be just, oh yeah, well, it's your opinion, man, and go ahead and leave the discussion. Because some opinions are prohibitively restrictive, some opinions are prohibitively dangerous. They are, and I don't mean dangerous as in, oh, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Some political ideologies are more restrictive and they are not something that I am, again, willing to just push aside as differences of opinion. I used to be able to do that very easily. But that's where that old friend comes in, the Jordan Peterson fan, and people that I still know to this day. Thankfully, okay, yeah, there's a noise in the background. It's because they are vacuuming the house. I thought I was going mad for a second. I had to pick up the headphones and listen to it. Sorry about that. A couple of noises. Thankfully, I have been able to weed out a lot of people, and that's the thing. Like, so Well, because everything here is a well-oiled machine, my voice recorder just ran out of battery. I'm gonna say the same thing before. Like, let's imagine I just realized they are vacuuming the house right now. This is why I record like at 4 a.m. Uh, more uh, truthfully, 12 a.m. Okay, so, oh, sorry about that. The thing is that I've been managed to weed them out. Some of these friendships, I am sad that I lost people that I do care about. I did care about, but honestly, there are some. I think you need to have some side. You need to have some lines, and this is where Jordan Peterson again comes in, and that friend, that Jordan Peterson fan. Jordan Peterson, in general, to me, sort of brings out um, not just a right wing mentality, because again, people who are that right wing to unironically believe a lot of the things that Peterson says without, about race and gender, they're usually such big assholes that I'm just okay. You just see them coming a mile away. The problem is all of those people who don't understand what they're saying and just regurgitate what Peterson is saying. Like that ex friend that I had, and my friend now no longer talks to anymore, which is great. I'm happy for him. For my friend, not for the ex friend. He can fuck himself. Let's call that ex friend MS, because that's the initials of his name. I don't mind naming him, and he doesn't listen to this. Even if he does, he can suck my dick. Um, MS, a big Jordan Peterson fan, I also a fan of eugenics, not even kidding. He literally endorsed eugenics, casually, by the way. Um, he is the same stuff that he thinks he is fighting. He is the same restrictive um, person that he thinks the political scene is. And because of that, I feel like a lot of the reasons I hated politics was because of people like him. I used to hang out with him and his friends a lot. His social circle group, which was a lot of centrists and downright right wing people masquerading as left wing or liberals. Again, like Jordan Peterson. A lot of the ideas they had were Jordan Peterson. They believed in natural and scientific stuff, and the basis for science was half regurgitated theories that they misremembered, and just political assumptions about large groups of people without any studies backing them up. They just believed them. I believe it, so it must be. Which, I mean, good for them. They were very anti-religious, but I mean, the way they treated this stuff was incredibly religious. Again, this is where I find Peterson very uh, frustrating. People who, at least in my interactions with people who follow Jordan Peterson, is that they want to appear rational. They want to appear scientific. They want to appear like they are not emotional. Like, again, much like Shapiro, another fuckface, facts don't care about feeling. These are factual. These are factual statements, and you should always listen to us because we are talking rationally. You're the one who's being emotional. When in reality, all they're doing is just literally talking religiously. Like, Peterson is a religious person. We know about that. I don't fuck it. But they just replacing the God in their religion with Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, whoever. And that is why I want to talk about. That is why I wanted to name this "I Hate Jordan Peterson." That video is great. Go ahead and watch that video. And Peterson has been coming up a lot, which He's bad for people like me who can't stand him. But in general, it's about finally making a stance, I guess. You need to have a stance. And yeah, I do have, I didn't used to, but now I think I do have. And that is something that is my problem. I used to be much more ignorant than I am now. So right now, if you are a fan of Jordan Peterson, and not, I don't talk about his self-help stuff. Again, I don't care. I don't believe in a lot of his rigid mentality about self-help. But that's, again, you do you. I don't care a lot of people who like Tony Robbins. I don't care about either. But when you talk about Jordan Peterson as this cultural god, as this public intellectual that he wants to think he is, that's where I can't really, I can't really get into a good conversation with you. I can't just say, oh, that's what you believe will go on. Because a lot of what he believes are restrictive. He is a transphobic, homophobic, sexist, racist, misogynist, downright fascist. As much as he doesn't want to think he is, as much as people like to say, oh, you call everything you don't like fascist, all of that. If you believe what he believes with the same flimsy explanations that he does, you have to understand that. I'm not saying, just accept you are a fascist like him. That's the thing. You want to appear as rational. That MS guy wanted to appear as rational, even though he's the farthest thing from it. He is a little dictator in and of himself. But yeah, if you believe in that, just accept it. And then we can talk more rationally, and I can punch you in the fucking face if you really believe what he says. So yeah, this has been a very messy episode because technical issues, as well as I still have COVID. I am heavily medicated. Like, still a couple of pills that I have to get daily. So yeah. Fuck Jordan Peterson. If you like Jordan Peterson, if you are one of these cultural warrior bullshit artists, I don't think I do care enough to actively block you or, you know, want to ruin you the same way a lot of these people do that to you if you go against them. Again, MS, suck my dick. But I can't continue my conversation with you. I don't like to be, I don't want to say, oh, well, we have our differences of opinion, but we can talk about what we're saying, because those differences matter. Those differences are the differences between, in many cases, you believing in the rights of other human beings and not. I don't care what you think they represent. I'm telling you what they do. So yeah, fuck Jordan Peterson, fuck Ben Shapiro, fuck Steven Crowder, fuck all of this right-wing bullshit. And I guess this is the antithesis to my chapter 18 about politics. I'm finally taking a stance. And you should. If you have friends who like Jordan Peterson, ask them why. Ask them to tell you truthfully why they like Jordan Peterson, why they like Ben Shapiro. See if they are someone you continue to associate with after that. I wish I had the same courage and the same understanding that I do now a couple of years ago, back when I was still talking to MS and his friend. And I'm kind of glad that my friend finally break it off, and I'm happy for him. I think he's going to be much happier. With that said, this episode is coming to an end. So I will see all of you next week. I didn't do the plug, but you know that. You know the stuff.